words because you're such low level scum and I'm Teresa and I'm up here and you're down here, or someone that's like, oh, and then rolls the eyes as you walk away. I don't know what's better. As a New Yorker, I would prefer a Teresa type, just be gruff and rude to me to my face and let me know that according to you, I'm pond scum and you're like the almighty queen. I think that's probably better than like, die, woo, and then like there's
And
like
then
an
you're like,
eye
oh,
roll,
wait,
and
yeah.
I'm like, I'm standing right in front of you. I actually see the eye roll. I actually just saw it. So like, just wait till you're away from me. Short of that, Joey Gorga's he's a nice boy. He's a nice guy.
All right. Well, that makes me feel better. I'll be curious to see how this goes down. I will.
And I really don't think we're going to learn much. I don't believe this. We're going to find something. I don't know, but I believe that Teresa believes it, but I do think they're done. And I think the world is ready for it to be done. Does anyone care anymore? Like over 10 years, 10 seasons later, about Teresa and Melissa. Like, I think it's time. And we do care about Kathy and Kyle. That's salvageable. It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's funny. They just seem to have a different connection, I think, because their love for their mom and they sort of, the three girls. I don't know. It's hard to compare what it is about Kathy and Kyle that you kind of want them to stay together. And then with Teresa and Joe and Melissa, you're sort of like, and maybe it's just you've had so many years of them fighting back and forth. You are kind of like, okay, it's obvious they don't have any connection with each other. So let's just say it. That might be the difference, And
mind you, Juicy reposts all of Teresa's stuff. Like, Juicy is a fan. He posts the Dancing with the Stars. Juicy is a supporter of Trey. I think he's just like, look, the more money the bitch makes, the more the girls can eat, and I don't have to buy them the Gucci sneakers this week. And
and what does Juicy Joe care? I mean, he's not coming back to the United States, I guess, anytime soon. And you're right. More money she makes, the less he has to pony up. And now he's free to sleep with whoever he wants. So go to it.
You know what I find interesting is why is no one talking about Louie? Like, if you look at the Dirty John profile, the profile is come in, know your place. And that's a long step. That's a long come in, know your place, and woo the prey. I mean, that already like that's like steps 1 through 9. It takes a long time. Then, when you woo the prey, then you have to woo everyone else, Margaret and this one and that one and Joe and Melissa. That's like steps 10 through 15. Then you have to really get in, which is proposing, right? That's like another 5 steps. Now we're on 20 steps. This is it's hard, guys, being a Dirty John. Then you have to when something happens, like at the reunion and Margaret and her are fighting, you have to whisper to Margaret, it's okay, Margaret, I get it. You have to actually take the side of someone else to make your actual prey look like the crazy one, which he did. And now when we're at step 37, where we are, you have to have complete isolation. Now, you're not going to isolate Teresa from her daughters. That's not going to happen. Although that is the ultimate step that the Dirty John would want. I mean, why is no one realizing Louie's plan is really working here? And she even says things like Kim is always they've always hated each other and she doesn't need them anymore. She has Louie. It is true. But she even says, Louie came in and looked at my relationship and said, no more. You ain't taking this shit from these two that mistreat you, which, okay, chivalrous and, it has the wife's back. But girl, this is part of the plan. Alienate you from everyone. And I mean, the closest people other than your daughters of your family, your brother and sister-in-law. So I just don't know why no one is understanding that this plan for Louie is working. And again, I hope Teresa and him are 2 peas in a pod.
Me too.
I really do hope it works. I do. Everyone thinks I hate. I don't have a black heart. I don't have a black heart, as Lisa Rinna says. Don't ever say I have a black heart. What difference does it make in my life if it works or not? I hope it works. I really hope that he's this man with his past and he's found his true love. I do. But I'm just saying, if you want to look at the classic steps of a Dirty John, sure, isolation is, we're on that step and it's working.
All right, David Yontef. Oh my God, I've gotten a lesson today. A lesson.
I'm sorry. I really don't know everything. I have no ego, guys. I could be wrong about everything. That's my take.
You do have a direct line with Kim. So, I mean, you do know, I mean, Kim knows from way back all the different scenarios, So, I mean, your Patreon episodes with her are so good. She has just such great insight. So,
and everyone thinks she's like obsessed with Teresa. I mean, it's like her job now. Like I'm making her come on every week and talk about this. Kim D is not out on a Friday night having a drink and talking about Teresa. When she comes on the podcast, I mean, we start with Jersey. It's like she doesn't like Teresa. That's where we start. And she has all these examples. So I can't tell her to stop. You can find me at Behind Velvet Rope. And where can we find you?
Love it. At the Sarah Fraser Show on TikTok and Sarah Fraser Show podcast, new episodes 7 days a week.
Sarah, until next week, there's so much.
Out of breath. I know,
There's
it's
so
so
much.
much.
Congratulations on all I saw you were trending, I think, with 1,000 Pound, the Sisters, a 90 Day, or some of that low hanging fruit that you love. I'm not being rude to you. It's that you go and you were trending with something over there.
Trending on Apple Podcasts. Well, I always say this to you. The shows, my podcast trends when I have personal stories. And I was on a radio show back in the day in Washington, D.C. called The Kane Show. And Kane's ex-wife came on for a 2-part tell-all. And it has trended non-stop. Thousands and thousands of downloads in the DMV area. People really were curious about her story. And it was a good one.
Oh, I thought it was one of the 1,000 Pound Sisters, or I fucked my brother's wife, or one of those teal, right? I thought it was like a love. I thought it was one of those, like a Love After Lockup. I didn't realize it was that Kane. I thought it was like a Kane from like 90 Day or some shit like that.
No, but I love all those too.
I know you do.
On my show. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was Kane's wife. Okay, now it makes sense. You're tied into all that shit. Okay, I got it. Yeah. I just saw you were trending. I thought it was 1,000 Pounds or one of those.
Usually it is. Usually when I trend, it is. I had Matt and Kelly and Devin on from I Love a Mama's Boy a couple weeks ago. So that trended. That, like, I don't know how high that got. Maybe in the 80s, I think. But Natasha was like another level. That was like top 10. Crazy. Most downloads I've ever had ever. People are very fascinated.
And who taught you about the beauty of a 2 or 3-parter? This audience has a dartboard with me, but business is business. And when you get a live fish, when you got a fish on the hook, and look at, I didn't tell Carol Roswell to speak for 3 fucking hours, but when you do, you're like, cha-ching, cha-ching. This is 3 shows of pure gold. I mean, if someone talks for an hour, 40 minutes, there's nothing you could do. It's not your fault if it's like an hour and 20-minute show. You're like, I smell a 2-parter here. And the audience hates it, but I was so proud of you to see you with your 3 parts. I was like, oh, I have taught this young guppy well.
You have taught me very well. I tell that
you do the work, right? You do the work, and then you divide it, and then you trend times 3, and you're like, wait, I just saved myself 9 hours.
9 hours. Yeah, I learned from the best. That's one of many things I love about you. So thank you.
Thank you. Listen, we're here for you guys 24/7, but it is a business at the end of the day. And the day I don't make money, you may never hear from me again. But I love you all.